1 in every 2,000 women has Turner syndrome.
And I'm that one. That's right. I'm one of 2,000. People like to use that number a lot, sometimes to remind us that there are more of us than we think, and sometimes to remind us just how unique we are. And what is Turner syndrome, you ask? We'll get to that in a moment. First, there's another number I'd like to share with you. 2%. Just 2% of those with Turner syndrome actually make it to birth and become one of 2,000. 2%. Here's the story of one of the 98%, a girl with Turner syndrome who was never born, but today she becomes one of the 2,000.
Some of my earliest memories were that of doctors. They weren't frightening, they were kind, but I couldn't quite understand what they were saying.
Hello, I'm your daughter's geneticist. Her blood sample reveals she has classic Turner syndrome. That means instead of having 2 X chromosomes, she only has 1. She's going to be fine, but we're going to have to run some more tests to see if she has any of the commonly associated health impacts. We'll check her heart and kidneys to start. You'll need to seek out a variety of healthcare providers that will become your medical team. They will help guide you and your daughter through the care she'll need.
Now that I'm a little bit older, I guess you can say that's when I was first diagnosed. But diagnosis isn't just one moment in time. It's an ongoing conversation.
Bedtime.
Wait, I almost forgot my shot.
I'm your daughter's pediatric endocrinologist. One of the most common impacts of Turner syndrome is short stature. Women with Turner syndrome are usually no taller than 4'9", but growth hormone can help girls gain a few extra inches. It's a daily injection that you can give your daughter until she's about 13. We'll talk about why soon. You can even help her learn how to administer the injection herself.
Mom, can you grab my shot?
I already got it out of the refrigerator. It's on your desk. I'll be up to help you in a minute.
Can I try it myself?
Sure, you've got this.
I did it!
Way to go! Now get to bed. Time to wake up. Time to get to school.
Bye, Mom!
Wait a minute. Don't forget your backpack. You don't want to be late for the bus.
Okay.
Have a good day.
I found these weird things in my sister's bathroom yesterday. They looked like little mouse toys for a cat, but then my mom told me they're for your period. She told me that I'll get my period soon because my boobs are already getting pretty big and I have to wear a bra so that boys don't stare at me. It's kind of gross, but my mom says it means I'm finally becoming a woman.
Hi there. I'm a reproductive endocrinologist. Girls with Turner syndrome often don't go through puberty on their own. Estrogen can help. It will also help increase her bone density to decrease risk of osteoporosis. Your daughter can start introducing estrogen right around the time of puberty as she's starting to phase out growth hormone. Estrogen closes growth plates, so it's difficult to get both benefits at once. Unlike growth hormone, there are no injections to give. She'll just take hormone replacement pills or use a patch. After a couple of years, we'll also add progesterone to her routine.
I'm going to start the patch soon, but until I remember what my mom always told me, I'm as much of a woman as anyone else. Mom, I'm home.
Okay, you can get started on your homework. Some girls and women with Turner syndrome may have nonverbal learning disorder, or NVLD. This can make math, multitasking, and even driving difficult, which can lead to frustration in and out of school. Developmental psychologists like me can teach you and your daughter the skills she may need for success, building on her strengths in verbal learning and organization. Your school may also be able to help.
I may be small, but mentally I'm as big as anyone else. We come together today sharing so much, but what also brings us together are all of the things that make us different. These differences are not limitations. The only limitations are those we put on ourselves. Instead, we should leave here today with one goal: to embrace our differences as strengths. When we do so, we take control of our circumstances. I don't know what the future holds, but I know we each have a say in ours. Join me as we each find our own path. I still don't know what my path holds.
What about kids?
Well,
Nice to meet you. I'm a fertility specialist. Most women with Turner syndrome cannot have children on their own. They may not produce eggs, or their doctors may tell them it is too dangerous to carry a child. But there are options.
I could have a chance to foster a child or adopt.
Or if you get the approval from your doctors, you could try in vitro fertilization, but it can be very risky for women with Turner syndrome, particularly if they have a heart condition as a result.
Maybe I'll marry a guy who already has a kid and be a stepmom, or like I like to say, a bonus mom.
Surrogacy may be an option.
Or maybe kids aren't part of my future, and I'll be happy living child-free.
After all, infertility will be nothing by the time you're 60.
I know I have so much to look forward to, but all of this would be so much easier if there were more people like you I could talk to.
Well, of course there are. There's a whole world of butterflies out there just waiting to meet you.
Butterflies?
That's what we call ourselves, girls and women with Turner syndrome. We're butterflies. We're fragile but resilient. We're small but make big changes in the world. And most of all, we come in so many colors. We're each beautiful and unique. Let me show you. There's so much to find online, like these guidelines for medical care that you can share with your doctors. You can also talk with other butterflies on Facebook.
Hi there.
Hi.
When were you first diagnosed?
I was so young, I barely remember. What I do remember is being surrounded by doctors. That's how I know.
Me too.
There are all sorts of events that are posted around the country. Plus, there are informational webinars and social Zoom calls, which have been a great way to stay connected during the pandemic. And once the pandemic is over, we can get together in person at one of the many social events.
Social events? What are those like?
Girls and women and their families meet for fun, workshops, and other activities. Can you imagine it?
Wow, I can't believe there are so many ways to meet others with Turner syndrome. I still have so much ahead of me, and so much I'm unsure of. How many people will I date? Will I ever get married? What will be my first job? Will it turn into my career? Where will I move? What places will I see? Where will I finally retire? I'm scared, but also excited. Through it all, I know that Turner syndrome won't slow me down.
When I was just a little girl, I asked my mother, what will I be? Will I be pretty? Will I be rich? Here's what she said to me. Que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera, what will be, will be.
Of course, I do need to stay on top of my doctor's appointments.
Pediatric endocrinologists will guide your child's medical team. Once she's old enough, she should transfer to a general practitioner she trusts. She can use nonprofits and other butterflies to help her find the best doctors available. You may need fewer doctors than when you were younger, but it's important to get your heart routinely screened, even if you've never had any problems as a child. That's why it's important to find a cardiologist you trust, like me.
Sorry, what did you say again?
Better get your hearing checked while you're at it. Many women with Turner syndrome end up needing hearing aids sooner rather than later.
Like I said, I still have so much ahead of me, so many choices to make, and so many paths I may end up walking down. Turner syndrome will be part of some of those choices, but not all of them. It is part of me, but does not define me. I am 1 in 2,000, but I am still one of a kind. But not everyone can be that 1 in 2,000 like me. I am one of the 98% of those who are never born. So to end my story, I'd like to honor those who have lost their butterflies too soon. Doctors have come from distant cities just to see me. Stand over my bed, disbelieving what they're seeing. They said I must be one of the wonders of God's own creation. And they howled as they couldn't to offer no explanation. Newspapers asked intimate questions, want confessions. Reach into my head to steal the glory of my story. They said I must be one of the wonders of God's own creation. And as far as they see, they can offer no explanation. Ooh, I believe fate smiled in destiny, laughed as she came to my cradle. Know this child'll be able, laugh as my body she lifted. Know this child'll be gifted with love, with patience, and with faith. She'll make a way. She'll make a way.